This is Patrick Roth, Senior Support Technician for U1 Business Solutions. Today we're going to look at a common question that we get, and people will ask us, in what order does SmartConnect process the data that integrate? Now, whether the data comes in from a BL Salesforce query, BC query, text files, it doesn't matter. It all still comes in, and then once the data is read, then it gets ordered in the order of your data source keys. So in this particular case, if we look at my data source, this is just a SQL query, and I'm going to use this new ID field to generate a random GUID in SQL, and then I'm going to order by that column, that one. So in my particular case, if I look at it, we get Crawford from Columbia, we get executive from Sydney, and Staymart from Milwaukee. So we can see that clearly this is a random GUID, and Connect is ordering by that. Now that said, the preview of the data actually doesn't matter in that it doesn't actually use the keys. So if I flip it to Dextro ID as my source instead of the column data, we can again see that it's just whatever order. Now, let's say that I want to order my data by state, and then by city, and then by customer. So let's go. So I'm going to choose my key fields. I'm going to choose state, and I'll choose city, and then I'll choose customer. And save it. And we've already seen that preview doesn't make any difference, so we'll just run the map. And we're done. So if we look at the one that we just generated, we can see immediately that sure not in state order, sure not in city order. Okay, so it looks like SmartConnect is sorting it by customer, and then well, we can't really tell unless we have if we have the same customers. We can't really tell because the customer is unique, so we don't know whether it's sorted by customer, state, city, or city, state. But we do know it didn't sort in the order. So what happened to what I just said is it's sort in key field order. Well, that's still true. However, the thing is that the underlying table that holds the keys that you pick doesn't have any kind of sequence in it that I picked. So while I did choose it in state, city, customer that I expected to see it in, SmartConnect doesn't store it with an integer 1, 2, 3 or anything like that. So it knows what order I want it in. Instead, it actually generates a random GUID and then saves that as the PK on the table. So if we look at the underlying table here and look at the map, grab the map GUID from the map table for this particular report and then select it, if we run it, it shows that the order is cust number, state, and city. And we notice I didn't do any kind of order by here, which obviously would affect our results. So this is the order that it really did it in. We couldn't tell, like I said, city or state because customer was the unique one out of the deal. But we really wanted to see it in state, and then city, then customer. Now, since if I only had one key field, obviously be in good shape. If I just had customer number and I wanted it in customer number, we'd be great. If I just wanted it state order and didn't care about anything past that, again, we'd be great. We could just mark the one field, and since we have one field, we're good. Now, if I wanted to do by state, then city, well, that would be 50-50 then, because I have two fields, and since it's random, we could try that a few times. But we'd have 3 fields, and so the chances of us picking the 3 fields and SmartConnect putting the GUIDs in the same order, the key column ID, as that we're hoping for, chances are less, 1 in 8 then would be the thing. And so we could go to our map and just pull it up and keep changing these data source keys and saving it until we see if we get lucky. But we can make it a little bit easier than that. So in this particular case here, we want the order to be state, then city, and then customer. So what we could do is we could just write a quick update statement against our key column table. So let's go back to our map. Let's save that before we monkey around at the SQL table level. So in this case, it happens to be sort of in the order that we want. We wanted it state, city, customer. And again, this is what we turned out to be. So as long as we have a unique GUID, and as long as it comes out in the order here of the SQL statement, it comes out in the order that we want to see it in, then we should be good. So in this case, we just need to move customer to the last. So in GUID order, then for this map, this was our map. So in the GUID order, this one's good, and all we need to do is change this one to be greater than that. So what we could do is make this easy on ourselves then, where key column ID equals. So we'll grab the existing value of our customer number field. And then we want a GUID greater than this one. Now I suppose we could just switch this. Whoops. We could just switch this to be like 8C595, or we could also just go 759. So if you look at this 1469 758, you can do that. So let's just make it easy on ourselves. Let's just do that. Let's just go up. Now it's possible that there's one in here already that is named that, since it's all random, but odds are pretty slim about that. And if it did, that means this would run and it would fail, and it did not fail. So if we look at it, now we can see that our order of our key fields is state, city, customer, and again ordered by the GUID. So now if we pull up our map and look at this doesn't look any different, because again this is sorted by the key field name and not the GUID. It's not sorted by sequence, it's not sorted by anything, it's just by name. But if we run the map, text file again, done. And if we look, we can see that state is clearly the first sort, because we have the blanks first, then our state. If we look at, let's find a duplicate here. So let's find the Illinois. We have Arlington Heights, or Bloomington, Chicago, Lake Zurich, Lockport. So clearly it's going by city next, and then our third field is our customer, and it would be sorted by customer. We can definitely see that, because here are a bunch of Chicago ones, and these are definitely then in customer order. So again, this is how we do it. So it's unfortunate that SmartConnect doesn't keep track of this for itself, and that we have to change it under the hood, but it's not a terribly difficult complex scenario. And again, if you just had two fields, maybe just try it a couple times and do it. But once you start getting past two key fields, it's unlikely that it'll end up in the same order you want. So it's best to just take to the SQL Managed Studio, update it, and get it in the order that you want, and your data will come out as you expect.